Hello and welcome back to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and joining me to talk about Kenyon Green, the offensive guard from Texas A&M in our NFL Draft Prospect Special, is our host, Mr. Logan Landers. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? I am ready for this week. We got the Super Bowl upcoming, but we gotta always we've been talking about the draft for a long time now, longer than a lot of other outlets. We've been covering pretty much every single draft prospect. It feels like, right? I'm sure we're at 100, getting close to it. Up today is Kenyon Green, the big guy out of Texas A&M. Can't wait to talk about how large this man is, how insane he is on the O line, and I can't wait to talk about him, man. It's gonna be good.
Absolutely. And for everybody watching here on Monday, February the 7th, before the prospects have come to fruition, tell us, were our predictions right based on what we talked about Mr. Green and his prospects for the future? You can always find out in the future whether we were right or not. Another way that you can kind of try to predict the future yourself is you can use Bet Online. They've got odds, scores, totals, player performances, and you can decide where the next head coach is going to be fired from. So you can go all that and get to Bet Online. It's your number one spot for all things in the NFL betting circuit. And they don't just do football, they do basketball, hockey, boxing, UFC odds, all the best in the business. Your best place for Vegas casino games. It's all over at Bet Online. So you can head to Bet Online and use your mobile device to sign up today for a 50% off welcome bonus with your first deposit. Just use our code BELIEVE, BLEAV, to get started. So, Mr. Logan Landers, tell us, Mr. Kenyon Green, the offensive guard from Texas A&M, what do we have to look forward to from this man's performance?
You are gonna see one of probably this is probably one of the top offensive linemen in this upcoming draft, and he's been well regarded for a long time as a top prospect. Right, coming out of high school and going into college, he was ranked very high, a 5-star prospect, the third best offensive tackle in the country at the time, and the number one player in Texas. And Jeremiah, as you know, Texas is a hotbed for football talent. Kenyon Green, the man you see here on the screen staring you down, he was ranked number one coming out of high school. And now here we are in the upcoming, 2022 NFL draft, which is going to take place in a few short months. And he is one of the top offensive guards. So not much has changed for him. One of the best in high school. Now he is one of the best in college. He did great, right? He had offers from a lot of schools, ultimately chose to go to Texas A&M, had offers from Oregon, Alabama, and he originally committed to the LSU Tigers, but he decided to flip that and go on over from Louisiana over to Texas A&M and become an Aggie. And what a great decision that was, right? Kenyon Green had a tremendous 2019 season as a freshman, starting all 13 games, named SEC All-Freshman team, and was just a force in his first season as a freshman, right? You can't get much better than that. He started at right guard, and, I mean, he's played all over the offensive line, honestly. He's helped the Aggies, right? They've had a very good offensive team since his tenure, helping get over 200 rushing yards in a few games, helped with the passing game as well. And he was great his freshman year. You could see glimpses of what was to come. But 2020, right, last season, his sophomore season, was when you really got to see his talent. So like I mentioned, started about in right guard in 2019, moved over to left guard in 2020, started all 10 games with 691 offensive snaps. So that lets you know he does not come off the field very often. Consensus All-American, a plethora of awards for this young man in that 2020 season. It's so long I can't even list them. But he was a big part, right? Texas A&M probably had the best offensive line in 2020, and he was responsible for that. Helped lead the unit in terms of sacks allowed with 0.7 per game, tackles for losses only 3.8 per game, and then yards per carry all the way up at close to 6, right? He had 5.45 yards per carry, helped him out, helped his running back in that regard. So he was just a force in that 2020 season. Helped them get a lot of big numbers on the ground mostly, and also in the air, right? Kellen Mond was the quarterback. He was doing good. But in this past 2021 season, right, his junior year, he started in all 12 games at 4 different positions on the O-line. So very versatile. Played in all those, pretty much all positions you can think of, except for center, I believe. And he started at right tackle, right, and he just played everywhere, right, right guard, left tackle, and was outstanding. Won SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week. Just helped out the Aggies in a multitude of ways. Also in 2021, he was serving as a season-long team captain. So that his team trusted in him. He was a dominant force from the beginning. And with Kenyon Green, man, he has looked like a monster on the offensive line. Like, he's got awards that you could go on and on for a whole separate video. And like I said, with his great size, right, 6'4", 325, and just being a junior, right, he's coming out a little bit early. He's going to be hard to stop, right? And he is a dominating force on that offensive line for Texas A&M. Hasn't allowed many sacks, hasn't allowed many tackles for losses. Doesn't really get flustered in there. But man, he does a bang-up job. And most importantly, Jeremiah, he protects his quarterback. Whoever it is going to be in the NFL, he's going to do a great job with that, I know. Oh, it looks like you muted there, my friend.
Looks like I'm trying to protect myself here from hearing me sip my coffee in the background. But the quarterback is like so important, and someone like Kenyon Green makes sure to protect his quarterback. And of course, if you're trying to protect yourself online, you need something like a VPN, and a VPN is a virtual private network that allows you to go online and have nobody see what you're doing. And our preferred VPN is actually NordVPN. It's the world's best VPN service, offering fastest connection, most servers, next-gen encryption to get you everything to stay online and secure. And before we get your final word on Kenyon Green, I just wanted to mention too that you can use the NordVPN on all your computers and devices, no matter what the operating system is. They have unlimited bandwidth, and you never have to worry about a slow connection. And the plans start at under $4 a month. So grab your exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/believe, which is spelled BLEAV. Believe is our amazing podcast sponsor that brings us our podcast every single week, and you can get up to 70% off your NordVPN plan plus an additional month free. It's also risk-free for 30 days, so you can get in there and you can start testing it out and see if you like it and see if it keeps you safe. So, Mr. Logan Landers, what's your final word on Mr. Kenyon Green?
If you're going to draft Kenyon Green, I think it's also going to be risk-free, right? I think he's going to be a tremendous offensive guard in this league. He's got great strength, right? He's a smart player, above average. He also has a nasty side to him, right? He's not afraid to toss some guys around. And he's just been a phenomenal player all throughout college, has a lot of hype around him going into college, and it's going to continue in the NFL. Like I said, he's versatile. That is huge. He's played in all 4 offensive line positions except for center. So you can't get much more better than that. That's going to help out whatever team he's going to get drafted to. Good feet, right? He's not explosive, but he's got good footwork. He's dominant more in the rushing game than he is in the passing game. So say if he goes to, so I'm not there, maybe like a Minnesota or a Las Vegas, right? Teams with good running attacks. I mean, hey, that could very much help them out in terms of their running games. And for a guy who's, like I say, 6'4", 325, he's got some good speed to him. For a guy with that type of size, a lot of passion I've seen whenever I did my research. Everyone seems to say that he's a great person, that he's not going to cause any issues off the field, and that he plays with a winning attitude, a winning heart. And you always love to see that, right? He's got a great length, great build, good size for his frame. But like I said, not everyone is perfect, right? You got to have some weaknesses, right? So obviously, I think that maybe his passing game, his pass blocking could get improved a little bit with more some of the speedier defensive linemen coming at him. Let's say he's got good footwork, but he might not just be the fastest. So he's got to work on that maybe a little bit. I think he's going to do great at the combine. And I mean, like I said, only allowed a little bit under 50 pressures in 3 years, which is pretty good. Not the greatest, but overall, I mean, he played in the SEC. Let's not forget. the SEC is guys that are going to be in the NFL for a long time. So I mean, about a little bit under 50 over 3 seasons. That's not too shabby. About 12 to 15 per year. So he does a good job. I mean, I think that his arms. People saying his arms might be a little bit too short, right? His arm levels.
Yeah.
But I think that you can easily overcome that, right? As long as he works on overall just his technique, make sure that's clean, and he has great potential, right? Amazing strength. I can't wait to see what his bench press numbers are going to be at the combine. I'm sure he's probably going to be up there with some of the best. Good quickness for his size. Good drive also in the running game. He's just going to be shoving guys out the way, making those gaps. And I think he is going to have to develop a little bit in the pros, get used to all of that, like all of the offensive linemen are. But I mean, I definitely see why this guy is. People are guaranteeing him a first round draft pick, and because he's got everything you want, the speed, the size. He does still need a little bit of polishing, but who doesn't? And I think that whatever team goes with Kenyon Green as an offensive guard in the NFL is going to get probably one of the best offensive guards for many years to come. Right? I think that if everything goes well, he gets away from knocking on wood that he doesn't have any injuries or anything insane like that. That he's going to be playing for a long time, might rack up a few Pro Bowl appearances, and I think overall he's going to have a very good career in the NFL. I can't wait to see this young man gets drafted, and whoever gets him is definitely going to get someone who protects them each and every single Sunday.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Mr. Logan Landers, for that amazing breakdown of Kenyon Green, the offensive guard from Texas A&M. Our show is powered by Bet Online, and we are so excited to keep bringing it to you. So if you are watching us now, thank you again. And if you are listening to our podcast, thank you again. But if you're not listening to our podcast, come and join us. We are online anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, including on Spotify, on the Believe Podcast Network's main website, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, and some of our new favorites. Do you remember the name?
Yeah, we got Overcast, right? That's the one we've been rocking with for a little bit. Amazon Music, like you said. We also have some more just really top notch. Some ones like Echo Podcast, right?
Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on Echo Podcast.
Yeah, we've been getting great numbers over there, man. It's been amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, so everyone, thank you so much. And thank you for finding new platforms to find your favorite podcasts so that we can keep listening together. We now have over 680. Is that 688 was the last number?
Yep, 688 was the last one.
Wow. Yeah. 688 podcasts. And guess what? We have incredible history specials and amazing interviews with legendary players, including some great interviews with Bobby Butler, our host that was a 12-time NFL great. He interviews amazing players every single week on our show. So if you haven't caught some of Bobby Butler's Legends interviews, you definitely want to go back and listen to some of those. We've had former NFL greats, college greats, players, coaches, Delray Beach greats, other football greats that have played in the Super Bowl. Yeah. But incredible people just like that. And so we're so excited to do that every single week. So listen back to our amazing episodes through the podcast, over 688 episodes as of this week. And we are so excited to keep bringing you these every single week. So I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and you've been listening to our host, Mr. Logan Landers, break down the NFL draft prospects for Kenyon Green, the offensive guard out of Texas A&M. We'll be right back with another live episode.